everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about this Frigidaire gallery refrigerator that we got. We're going to have to do this with some pictures because we're still working on trying to figure out how to videotape everything and put it together. So we're going to try talking about it and overlaying some pictures here. But what we did, we came up with a refrigerator that was on the side of the road, just like most people, you know. They get a refrigerator, they get an appliance, it breaks, they call the repair guy throws a part at it, and no good, so they go buy a new one. So that's how this ended up on the road. I was able to find out that there was a lightning storm, some kind of storm that went through, the power got knocked out, refrigerator never worked again. Supposedly the repair guy put a new main board in it. I don't know. It doesn't really look new to me, to be honest with you, but whatever. We got it home, and I'm just going to walk you through kind of my thought process doing this stuff, because you guys can do this. You know, there's no reason to go spend all this money on stuff when you know how to fix it. And look, I'm not an expert. You don't have to be an expert to do this. A lot of this is really common sense, and I'm going to explain how. We get this refrigerator, and of course, first thing we got to do is plug it in and see if it works. So we plug the refrigerator in, and everything kicks on, but no compressor. Okay, or what we think everything kicks on. There is no compressor. So hopefully there's a picture right about here that's going to show you the compressor in the back of the refrigerator. I put my hand down on it after about 5 minutes. You should feel some vibrations. You should feel something coming from that, okay? And there wasn't. And they said the compressor was shot on it, so, okay. But I find that hard to believe because you don't find a whole lot of bad compressors out there. Variable compressors you have problems with, but that's different. You just don't generally find a lot of them. So, I reach down, I grab it, I shake it, it rattles. I'm gambling there's not a problem with this compressor. So, there's a little black box that you see on the end of the compressor there, which is actually this, okay? This is a drive board, inverter board, whatever you want to call it, okay? So, I figure I'm going to start there with it. And you guys, you need a voltmeter, by the way. You don't need a flute, okay? Go get yourself a cheap voltmeter, because if you do plan on doing any of this stuff, this is kind of your bread and butter, how you're going to track down where the problem lays. You're going to isolate it because you got voltage here, voltage not there. And we're going to explain that in a second when we get to troubleshooting this little bugger. But pull this off the back of the compressor, and there again I hope there's a picture here. And I open this up, and lo and behold, I have a blown fuse on an inverter board. And right here should be the picture of the blown fuse on the inverter board. So I figured maybe we'll get lucky and I'll just replace the fuse. Replace the fuse, plug this in, fuse just smokes immediately. Okay, so, and it was not plugged into the compressor, so keep that in mind. We're isolating an issue. You don't want to plug it all back together and plug it in and it still pops, because now you don't know anything. So, we plug this all back in, and plug the refrigerator in, and this fuse just instantly grenades. So, I figure there's a short in the inverter board. So I pull the inverter board out, and I was going to track it down, and I realized this board's going to be it's going to be a pain in the ass to try and get the MOSFETs off and everything. So I jumped online, found a parts outlet, I think out of Utah maybe. Matter of fact, you're going to see a picture of it. But ordered it on eBay, had it within 2 or 3 days. This was, I think, $100 for shipping, okay? Which to me, well worth it to fix the refrigerator. So we get this in, we put it in, we plug it in, compressor fires right up. Beautiful, okay? Let it sit for about 2 hours, temperature's not dropping. So we got to dig a little deeper into this, okay? But we know the compressor's working, and we know it's cooling. Okay, we have hot lines, we have cold lines, but our refrigerator and our freezer has not cooled one iota of a bit. Okay, so we go inside the refrigerator, and there should be a picture here of the lower freezer part. We open it up, and that is where this little fan is. It only takes a couple screws to get in there, guys. So, if you've never done this before, don't be scared to. Okay? Free refrigerators seem to be a dime a dozen out there. Go get one and give it a shot. And you know what? If you can't fix it, you learn something. And that in itself is worth a lot. Okay? But this fan is sitting in there. So I break out the voltmeter. Now, we know, because this is labeled a DC 12-volt fan. But you notice there is, 1, 2, 3, 4 wires here. But the blue wire is not even used. Okay, so it's a 3-wire system. But we have a 12-volt motor with 3 wires on it. What that means is you're going to have a positive and a negative, okay, that should be live at 12 volts. But you're also going to have a control wire. The yellow wire is probably going to have a variable voltage going to it to control the speed of this fan. And that's what you usually end up with when you see a setup like this on a 12-volt fan inside home appliances. But let me get back on track here. Pull this out, get the voltmeter out, I check the harness, okay? Got 12 volts all over the place. It's like, got a bad motor. Not a big deal. I also made sure we had variable voltage coming in on this yellow wire, okay? So, order one of these up, 20 bucks. Okay, get it, and man, that was fast. It came out of Florida. Some new guy on eBay, man. He had this thing here quick. Ordered on, I think it was Friday and got it Monday. So I'm not getting no complaints there. Put this in, plug it in, turn the refrigerator on. To my disappointment, this did not work. So that tells me either I got it wrong and we have another issue, or I got 2 bad fans. I stop what I'm doing. We get up, I take both motors, I get a 12-volt battery, I apply, your positive and your negative right here, and then also 12 volts right here to signal the motor to fire up. Both motors fire right up. Okay, so we got a problem a little bit deeper in this refrigerator. Let's take a look, let's start at the basics, because if you remember, when I checked for voltage here, I had a variable voltage on this wire, okay? So now it's like, what the heck's going on here? And it took me probably about another hour to track down what was going on with the whole situation. And this, a lot of times, is what you have with, not only your home appliances, but your electronics. The other side of this plug, this yellow wire was pulled out, okay? And it looked like, I don't want to say it was pulled out, but it wasn't in all the way, okay? And it was not making contact to the other side of the plug that went into here. So this was never getting that variable voltage to turn on or off, and was not working. So we did not need to replace this motor, and we could have saved 20 bucks, okay? But we'll keep this so we have an extra now. But it was just a wiring issue in the plug. So we ended up with a driver board for the compressor and having to fix a wiring harness inside this refrigerator. And my wife now has a very beautiful Frigidaire Gallery French door bottom freezer refrigerator that I think she's going to love immensely. She's over there smiling right now at me. But guys, I want you to know, just some of this is common sense. You plug something in, first thing you got to check, is the compressor working? And that is as easy as putting your hand on it and feeling it, okay? And if it's not working, me personally, I shake them. And then if they rattle, I'm going somewhere else, okay? If everything else checks out, you're getting voltage there, and that's why you really do need to have one of these, so you can check for voltage going to different places. And I don't really know how basic I got to get into for you guys, but if I really got to break this down and go over how to use one of these on a basic level, let me know. We will do that. But just don't be scared to try it, guys. Go grab something, try and fix it, and you'll be super proud. You got something, a nice appliance that you can upgrade your house with, or give it to your kids. Okay, maybe they need something, but you'll be pretty proud of yourself that you're able to take something, drop very little money into it, and have something worth a couple dollars, because I know we could turn around now and sell this refrigerator in working condition. Okay, I bet we get $800 to $1,000 out of it. Okay, I'd be surprised if we didn't. But now my wife's looking at me all funny. I'm not allowed to sell stuff anymore. So we're getting quite a collection around here. But guys, we can go over this more, and I'm going to try and do better on the videos when we're fixing stuff around here, so you get a better idea what's going on. Hopefully the pictures work and Stefan can coordinate everything for us. So, okay, happy soloing.